What's going on, brother?
Hey, good afternoon.
How's it going?
Good, good.
Ladies and gentlemen, I have Matthew Davis here.
Hey, everybody.
We actually met at the gym, right?
Yeah,
It was kind of crazy. You said something about my shirt that I had on.
yeah. You were wearing X-Men, which is my jam. So,
Before we get into it,
yeah.
go ahead and just provide your credentials for the audience, please.
Oh yeah. So, my name is Matt Davis, and I am a entrepreneur that has multiple interests, like my creative endeavors. I'm in a lot of different types of mediums as far as sculpting and drawing, but I also help people out with their credit. So a completely different side of me that I've been doing since 2008, helping people with their finances and stuff. What keeps me sane is my creative drive. So as you could see around us, it's a little influenced. A little, but my wife helps with that too, and it makes us both pretty eclectic.
Yeah, shout out to Colleen.
Shout out to my wife, Colleen. I love you so much.
Now, so we can go ahead and jump into it.
Yeah.
Now, your creative side, your early influence was Jim Henson, correct?
Yeah. Oh,
okay.
yeah.
What about his world sparked something in you as a child?
So as a kid, I was a big Muppet fan. So to the point where my dad and I kind of looked forward to it every single week. He was a huge Muppet fan as well. And the creativity that kind of came from that, I wanted to be Jim Henson when I was a kid, and I didn't know what that looked like. I thought I was just kind of playing with puppets. But he went on to do a number of different things. Dark Crystal was one, The Labyrinth, and he also helped make the costumes for Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. So for the first movie.
Go ninja, go ninja, go.
Yeah, he did. He did the first two. So he's an innovator. He was the first guy to come up with a puppet that was fully automational in the Labyrinth. So, and I just learned that. And he's a master collaborator. So he just looks for the best in people, and he's able to mesh that with each other.
Was that the joint with David Bowie?
Mm-hmm.
That's classic, bro. That's classic. Yep. Did you see the other movie, The Labyrinth, Pan's Labyrinth? I meant to ask you that before. It's a Spanish movie.
Yeah, for sure. It's been a long time since I've seen that one. Guillermo del Toro did that one.
Yeah,
and his vibe is very creepy, and I'm sure he would love to hang out in this room right here with me. Yeah, man, I love Pan's Labyrinth.
So back then, like before you were fixing credit and creating the figures and whatever, and whatnot, like what kind of art were you making back then?
Yeah, I was
early on.
I was doing acrylic on canvas for a little bit. I did a painting with my black cat at the time and myself. It was kind of like if you've ever read the story Dorian Gray and he looks at his painting, it ages him. So his painting has this magic behind it where it ages, and the curse is that if he looks at it, he then ages and dies. So I would say, I like to say I made my own Dorian Gray just for fun. And other things than that, I got into a little bit of comic book characters. I have a couple. Toilet Paper Man and Zip Strike are two, and they're still around. They were early on at that time and very early in development, so just a couple little creative ideas, I would say circa 2008 to 2012, and it's really started to percolate over the last, 20 plus years.
It's time for the percolator.
All right.
just out of pure curiosity, if somebody was interested in like creating a comic book character in a comic book, what steps would they take to do that?
So asking somebody that is very early on in that journey, but still a big fan of books, and I try to pick the brain of all sorts of indie publishers. It is having something that resonates with you and have it flow naturally, but also getting that story out as soon as possible. Because I think that there can be, and it definitely, I'm still a victim of this. Where you have an idea, you're very excited about it, you move so far with it, and then all of a sudden it starts to taper off, and you don't have the drive anymore. So that's what happens with something like Toilet Paper Man's example. I've had that character since I was 16 years old. 43 now, so it's still something. And I only created a storyline that was really, in my opinion, I like it a lot. I'm fired up about it over the last 5 years. So the storyline's already out. So it's like getting that next step, and then I've created a bunch of different illustrations since then, varying degrees. So that's another thing about a creator is like what's the next shiny object, and what can I do next? So
nice. Yeah, 'cause you and I got some collaboration.
Yeah,
we got some stuff to discuss. We ain't gonna reveal anything right now. Wink and whatnot. But yeah, we got some. Early. I'm excited.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Me too. Yeah.
So how did those early creative experiments like influence the way that you see the world now, both as an artist and as an entrepreneur?
Yeah. I would say the art side was Jim Henson, just looking at him as a creator, but then having certain peers and students in school, like friends that would along the way have these like little pushes. Like, for example, I had a good friend of mine in my 5th grade birthday gave me colored pencils and a pad. It's as simple as that. That really starts you on that journey. Yeah. And then from there, you don't realize it until you're like way older. You're like, oh, that was the pivotal moment that I needed. With the finance piece, especially with credit, I was going from bar managing to needing a 9-to-5, and I was like, I need to temp anywhere I can. It ended up being at a credit repair company, and from there, it was just kind of natural because I was able to help people in a way that I didn't even know existed. And I first helped myself because coming from the bar industry, it was a little tattered at the time. So self-enrollment, and then figuring out the industry, and then entrepreneurship was having somebody see something in me that I didn't see in myself, which was leadership and things that don't necessarily, like I said, I think you have to have certain people exterior try to be there. And it is how you take it, right? You have to be the one that runs with it. But it helps when you have people on the outside that are like, hey, you could do this. You're capable of this. Even when at the time you're like, no freaking way. So
hold on. I'm not trying to be rude.
Oh, no.
That's one reason why I love you, man, because we both are doing what we're doing for the same reasons, to help other people.
Right.
You're helping me, I'm helping you, and we have a great future ahead of us.
Yeah.
And we got some other people going to get involved in everything. It's going to be beautiful.
And I think that, if you lead that way, when serving folks instead of money motivated, I think that speaks volumes. I've seen folks in my industry that are money motivated, and a lot of them aren't around anymore. So I think that is a testament to what happens when you aren't or when you are. I've been able to create a referral only business, fortunately, and surrounded by a lot of good people. And it does take showing up and stuff because you're going to fall down along the way, but it's been fun. It's been a fun ride so far.
Absolutely. Now, I guess it's safe to say that you've lived a few different lives, like the teacher in training, bar manager, now the credit expert. What did each phase teach you about people in general?
Yeah, I'll actually even go back to my scout summer camp days. Okay. I started out at a summer camp that we would just cook all of our food at the campsite. We would have to go to the commissary, get ingredients, and bring it back and cook it. Well, I was 14 going on 15, first summer away from my parents and homesick. And so one night, we only got 24 hours off a week and an evening off a week. And so my night off got switched, and I had to go down to the commissary and sweep for the person I was covering. And I had these two older staff members basically say, you're not doing that right. You need to sweep this way, and this is the right way to sweep the floor. And they showed me the right way to do it. little did I know at that moment, I learned the value of hard work and doing something the right way.
Yeah.
As angry as I was at the time, I was like, this is my night off. They weren't berating me. They were just trying to show me, but it was obviously not well received at the time, but something that I can look back on and say, hey, they tried to help me out, and they did. And I can say that I'm friends with them to this day, which is kind of crazy. So, so that that was 14, 15 years old. Value of hard work. Fast forward to the teaching thing. I was going to be an elementary school teacher for a little bit, and I was doing elementary education and English major. So I love language, and I remember in that doing all of that, I was starting to do in class, gosh darn it, kind of monitoring, or oh my gosh, can't even think of the word. Anyway,
it's okay.
Yeah. So just hanging out, shadowing. There we go. Shadowing, just kind of getting the idea of the dynamics of school. It wasn't my journey. I ended up, getting out of school for a little bit, having the intention to go back in. Everybody's like, "You're not going to go back." And I'm like, "Yeah, I will." Didn't happen. It wasn't my life path. Then it was bar managing. Bar managing was a good way to teach me how to not lead. I think a lot of my toxic traits in leading were in that. Like I was like, so I would say the biggest lesson that I've learned is not only the things that I'm good at, but also my self-saboteurs, the things that I'm not good at, or the things that come up that are like, hey, Matt, you're a little too relaxed on your leadership. You don't want to be the cool manager, right? Because the cool manager has a fine line where you can get walked on, or you're able to be cooler with things than other managers that maybe have a little bit more of an iron fist or more stern. So so being able to recognize that has been super important, because there are a lot of people that go through life, they're like, no, I'm not doing anything wrong. And I think that the biggest strength that I've had is admitting when I'm wrong and being able to pivot. So
100%.
Yeah.
I totally agree with you on that, man. Like sometimes I can be over apologetic. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah.
Like a gift and a curse, I guess, in a way.
I know you. I feel you on that.
Right. Now, so was it 2011 when you started the credit company?
Yeah.
The credit service company. Why? Why did you?
So I had I will say I had a lot of. I was working with an individual at the time that was pushing me in that direction. He was not necessarily a great individual in the way who he was. I'm not going to name names, obviously, but it wasn't healthy for me in the work environment, but it was a healthy transition. So it pushed me in my life direction where I needed to go. Fast forward to 2015, or actually, while we were doing all of that, we raised a company up to about 15 to 20 people. We were on the third year of our business, set to do $1 million. On our third year, we did $880K in sales, and then I separated the business because the person was toxic at the time. I then started the next business in 2015 with my brother, and then him and I ran the business up to mid-April of last year, and he went another direction, and now I am fully on my own now. So now it's interesting because I've been an entrepreneur, quote unquote, since 2011, but I still feel very new and very much a student now. Like it's a year and a half in that endeavor, right? So I think that's also important too, is to be a student for what you're doing. I don't think it's ever a good idea to think you know everything, because you don't. And I've been able to I guess stay humble in that and really try not to lead from a place of ego all the time. But now it seems like I feel like I'm exercising certain muscles like delegation. That's been a big one. And just to segue into that, I'm doing comic conventions now as an artist exhibitor. And so I'm so grateful to have friends that support me. Kunal, by the way, happy birthday. It's his birthday today. He's in London, England, and he's a good friend of mine.
Happy birthday.
Happy birthday, dude. And him, my buddy Jason, my buddy Andy, and my buddy Dan are all with me at the con to help me out. And I noticed that I needed to be a better delegator. So it's like now I'm doing that, and to have a voice to do that without thinking I'm being a jerk is nice. So
you got to delegate to regulate.
That's right.
What are some of the possible concerns that you have about delegating, or are you kind of reluctant to delegate? Do you have any issues with being comfortable doing it? Makes sense?
Yeah. So, I've had issues in the past because it's like I've not had a voice in business. So now I get to exercise that, and where I feel in the past I've had a lot of pushback, and so now I like to say I get to make my own mistakes, whatever that looks like. And if it's not coming from a place of anger or dismissal, I'm gonna ask it, like, go help me move this, go help me move that. In fact, my buddy Kunal did help me out a lot with that, and saying, hey, you need to speak up here, or you need to speak up there, right? And so that's been good. That's been very helpful, and now I'm getting used to it. So.
Right. And earlier you said you're humble. And you and I have had a couple conversations about humility with jiu-jitsu and everything, but I feel like that's what would be the line that's kind of hard to separate and not let them blend in when you're being humble, because you are humble at heart, but then you have to delegate. It's kind of like, how do I do that and remain like respectful, professional, and not sound condescending and whatnot. You know what I'm saying? Yeah.
And I feel like that, I've definitely been guilty of that in the past, and I think those moments where you come off as a little condescending, you're like, oh no, like you can overly be like that to yourself, like, oh no, I better taper it back way too far. It's like, no, you can still exercise your power and not be a dick, So.
Now, what's one common myth about credit that you wish everyone understood?
Inquiries are not the end all be all. They only last on your credit, as far as the hurt, for about 90 days.
Okay. I'm glad you said that, because now I know.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah. If somebody comes in and, walks through your door, talk to you, they say, I got a 480 credit score.
Yeah.
Like, how do you, because first off, they're already mentally defeated, it sounds.
Yeah.
But how do you shift their mindset to a positive?
I'll be like, first, how do you know I even do credit, man?
Referral from BNI, maybe?
Yeah, right.
Hey, a shout out to everybody that was at the BNI meeting, and thank you again for taking me, bro.
Oh, yeah,
that was awesome.
Yeah, for sure. So, yeah, I'm part of a BNI group. Shout out to Lakeside Elite. Woo woo. Yeah, we have a great group of people there. Yep. So I was going to say about the, so I just tell folks, and it's funny where I meet certain folks, because some of them are at comic book conventions. You network everywhere. And so I've had clients from comic book conventions be like, I have a 480 score. And what I tell them, I'll take a look at it, see what I can do. If there's nothing I can do right away, I'll give you a path forward. So you're not going to get left astray. But it is rewarding to see people at a very big low and getting them to a certain degree of help. I would say the biggest kick I get out of what I do is the education piece. But I had a gentleman, he was a veteran, that was in a hotel room, and I got him into an apartment and eventually into a home, which was really cool. So that's one of my highlights of my career.
Nice, man. I admire you for helping people like that, man.
Oh, thanks, dude. Yeah.
Because, they can put somebody in a very depressed state if your credit score is low, you're trying to buy a house or, get a car or whatever, man. So the psychology of all that,
Yeah, most definitely. It hurts.
How has you building the credit business affected your art, your creative side? Does it have a positive impact, negative impact?
It has. Yeah, it had a positive impact. So it's allowed me to really know how much energy to put into each thing. And I can talk about this. So So my business plan right now is kind of like I have 75% energy going into the credit endeavor, and I have 25% going into the creative stuff.
Hold on one second. So we're gonna move this mic over just a little bit closer to you.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, because the people need to hear your voice.
Yeah. So
thank you.
Yeah, no, it's definitely. So 75% of the piece is on my credit endeavors, and then 25% goes towards the art, like conventions and different, obviously, supplies, ink, paint, paper, all that good stuff. And it's been cool because I do a financial thing during the day, and it does give me the drive to do the creative stuff at night and on the weekends. So, and then lately it's been, instead of illustration, it's been putting and painting custom Halloween decorations out in front of my yard. So,
which they are spectacular. I actually, thankfully, you allowed me to like help.
Yeah,
a little bit with the Reaper guy, right?
Yeah, you helped me put up a 12-foot Reaper. So yeah,
he's scary, man.
We like Halloween. Halloween.
I might for real pull up and go trick or treating around here, dog. It'd be funny. So what parallels do you see between the different like facets of business that you operate in?
Yeah, I would say the business side, good attitude. Right. Good example is I had my very first comic book convention at Heroes Con, Charlotte this year, and opening the booth and having everybody around me, getting their energy and their vibe. You do have some of those vendors that are like, it's going to be slow. I don't know how to make my money. And, you know, negative Nancy's. Of course you're going to have them. So, yeah, just having a good attitude had really helped me out, and being able to identify different product and having a realistic outlook. So being able to have that mindset that I'm in the long game and I'm also here to network. So it's like, it's not necessarily all monetarily right there, you know, right? So this is my first show. We're testing the waters. We're not here to make bank like that. If you're going in making bank, you can't think that way. So
it's not authentic. It's not from the heart.
Yeah, exactly. So going into that really helped with the credit piece. As far as the credit side with the creative part of it, I'm an outside of the box thinker anyway, so it's been cool to look at different ways to market, reach out to people in the credit realm. And I think I've been able to make it more fun, especially for younger people, because credit is not fun anyway. If I can make it fun, I'm going to do that. I also love what I do. You always have those crappy teachers that just are like, I don't want to fucking be here. And they're like, all right, I can tell you don't want to be here.
Exactly.
They got tenure. They don't want to be there. And then, but then the super enthusiastic ones, like we have them in our business networking group, and they light up the room. So good teachers, we need you still, even though it's tough out there. You always can tell. You can always tell when a teacher doesn't want to be there, when they're not into it. But as far as going back to what you were saying, though, yeah, they've helped out both in the business and creative side, because I've been able to not have to, think in the box. I'm not an in the box thinker. I'm an outside the box thinker. Now, to trampoline off that, I was going to say, as I'm going to start to grow, I'm going to be recognizing what other people have that I don't, because I know that I can't think all the different ways. I need people that are type A, so noticing that, recognizing that is super important too, I think, in business and in the creative world, especially if you're collaborating. What are certain strengths and weaknesses certain people have. So
before I go to the next thing, I want to say congratulations on finding the balance.
Thank you. I feel like I'm still kind of trying to find, but
you there. You're right there. You know what I'm saying? So I'm just going to mention the name, and I want you to just tell the people about it.
Okay.
Grafyeti.
Yeah. Okay. So Grafyeti is a designer toy that I came up with. I wanted to I like designer toys like Kid Robot and just the culture in general. It's a lot of and Dunny figures. There are a lot of artists that contribute to these little plastic vinyl figures and all sorts of different designs. And I wanted to kind of contribute to that as artists, but also have people contribute their own art. So I created this Bigfoot Yeti type creature that I called Grafyeti, and it's an urban Yeti that is a mischievous Yeti that goes and steals things from campers, and he just runs amok. So what I did is I sculpted this this Grafyeti. I don't have him with me, but we're gonna have him next show. And he got 3D scanned in my computer. I went in AutoCAD and cleaned him up, and then I printed him out through my my resin 3D printer, the first one. And so beyond that, I've been making, I think I have about 40 of them now, and all of them have different things about them. Some are green, some are blue, some are a bunch of different mixed. Some are see-through clear, and there's one that is actually black light activated. So there's a lot of different ones, and I've had that for about 4 years. I've been sitting on that for about 4 years now, and now we test marketed those at Heroes Con, and I sold my first one. So well received, and I could see a future with Grafyeti. And also, there are certain things that you do, I think, that you don't realize that'll blow up. I'm not saying Grafyeti's going to blow up, but yeah, we'll see.
How does an individual go about getting a Grafyeti?
Yeah, you contact me directly, and we'll talk.
Well, we're doing that already, brother.
Yeah, right. So, yeah, they're small batch right now. I've been advised to check out designer toy figure conventions, because I hear that that would be the market where I would go to do that. So one of them is in New York, and I forgot what it's called, but I'll have to go look it up again. My buddy Kunal let me know what it was.
Yeah, we need to talk about that later on for sure.
Yeah. I feel bad that I don't remember it, but
that's okay.
Whatever.
Now, earlier you was talking about Grafyeti, and he's mischievous, and he steals stuff from people's campers. That made me honestly think about a Goofy movie. You remember that?
Oh, yeah, dude. I loved the Goofy movie. I watched that in theater with my old man.
That movie was off the chain. There's one particular part. I got to do this, man.
You
know when they go to Lester's Possum Park?
Yeah.
Lester's Possum Park. Shout out Joe P.
That's
I had to do it, man. It was right that I had to, alley-oop, whatever.
It's been a long time since I saw that.
That's my favorite Disney cartoon. It used to be Lion King. Oh. But yo, that Goofy movie, man, just the music.
Yeah, no, the Goofy movie was great. I definitely liked that one a lot.
Above the ground. All right, so and we're back. What's the most rewarding part of seeing people connect at your convention?
Yeah, I would say that the coolest part is that I get to see people connect with artists and creators that they get to have a one-on-one with them, and that's happened to me as a patron and as an artist. So to see that connection of a real fan that actually really appreciates your work, and it really resonates with them, to have that genuine connection, them actually buying stuff from you, just to see people get excited about something that they like, I think is really cool. I know that sounds kind of cheesy, but
that doesn't sound well.
Yeah, it's cool. It's cool. It's cool to see.
The Leaning Tower of Chisa. You know what I'm saying? No, that's all. I'm with you, bro.
Exactly.
Between traveling, creating, and coaching clients, how do you balance the business brain with your creative soul? And you basically answered that earlier.
Yeah.
But
like I said, I still think it's like a juggling thing. It's still something I'm still trying to figure out. But
like a lot of compartmentalizing, and you have to plan ahead of time, and you don't want to just be sitting just like all over the place. Like you want to have like an itinerary, so to speak. To have a schedule.
Like you not only want to have an itinerary, but I'm somewhat disadvantaged because I have ADHD like a mofo. So I have to set up different, and I'm not making this an ADHD podcast, but just to give you an idea.
Bro, I got it too, man. For real.
Yeah. So it is, it's one of those things where you have to create systems for yourself that accommodate your brain in a way that is going to make sure it gets done. Because, like I was going back at the beginning, if you can identify the self-saboteurs or the things that really kind of hold you back, I think that you're ahead of a lot of other people, because like I said, a lot of people don't admit those, or they don't want to admit to themselves. And it's sobering. It's very sobering. And it's a fine line between beating yourself up and recognizing it, just naming it, right? Name the shame.
Right. And I got to say this too. I didn't mean any disrespect to you or anyone else with ADHD. I haven't been diagnosed. That was a self-diagnosis that I know myself pretty well.
Yeah.
And I know my tendencies. So
no, you're good.
I have
the
good traits. Believe that.
you're in good company. So yeah,
absolutely. What's one lesson entrepreneurship has taught you that art like never could have, or vice versa?
Yeah, that's a good question. I feel like I would say the working with systems and leadership. And then having I am grateful that I have the business side, because I do think that there are artists out there that can fall into the trap of having the mindset of like, oh, I've got to make this on just this. I think that there's a lot of ego that can really hurt you in both endeavors, in the art and in the business side, right? So if you're like, if you're like an artist that's like, I only do this, or I only do that, or I only, like, if you're limiting yourself and you're not open to expansion, or just finding a way to be more, I don't want to say intentional, but man, what's a good word? More streamlined. Okay. Mm-hmm. So going back, so to answer your question fully, you want to work smart, not hard. Right. And I wouldn't have really learned that had I not had the business sense. Like I feel like I would have been drawn and doing the hard stuff, but I feel like connecting with certain people along the way taught me how to be more efficient and in what I'm doing, and how I illustrate, and how I market myself, and not overdoing it. Like the first Comic-Con I did is a great example. It's like I didn't go into it thinking I'm going to make bank. I already knew that I wasn't, based on my business experience. I did have a lot of great artists that I was picking their brains. Joel Gomez is one of them. He does the title La Muerta of Coffin Comics with Brian Pulido, who's the owner of Coffin Comics and creator of Lady Death, one of my favorite titles, and I continue to support that company. The other one is Stranger Comics, Sebastian Jones and his team. These guys are awesome too. I support them too. I'm a big indie supporter, because they need us. What I'm finding now, though, is that you find these guys in the industry that do have business savvy, that are running companies successfully. And so you think of the big two, Marvel and DC, right? I think it's been cool to kind of connect with them, because they're breaking the paradigm of you have to be a big thing to produce independent properties, and you don't. You should create your independent property, develop it as much as possible, keep that fire going, put the shit out, put it out with care, obviously, get it out there, and see how it's received.
It stank.
It stank. What if you put it out and it stinks? Well, you fucking put it out. Like, right? Like, you put it out there. So you did it. And I think that's the biggest thing, is like, if you do it, cool. That's like, show up. You gotta show up. That reminds me of like my I started being friends with some comedy guys back in Denver when I lived out there. And I have a friend of mine who had done comedy for a little bit. He got a little discouraged, and he was out of it. But him being in it for the time that he was in it back, I want to say this is 2003, 22 years ago. I was able to connect with comedians. I'm not a comedian. I will never do comedy, but I will support the heck out of the comedy community.
And by the way, I respect them so much.
Oh, yeah. Oh, 100%.
To have the balls to get up on stage in front of all those people.
100%.
And everybody's bomb that's done comedy, from what I've heard, it's going to happen.
So, and that's the thing, is like, you're going to bomb. You have to, it's like anything else, you got to get back up again. And so I remember seeing comedians that would do open mic nights that may not have been that good, that still showed up, that kept doing it. And I think those guys speak volumes to some of the guys that may have been a little bit better than that quit before they're like, oh, I did a little bit and then I'm out, right? I think that, consistency and showing up is important. There's also a caveat to that. Like, I think you do need to know where you stand on the scale of, like, so as an artist and looking at my levels and kind of self-evaluating, I approached a creator back in 2016, and I said, hey, I'd love to do a cover for you. And they said, you need to work on your anatomy. And I took that to heart. I was like, oh, okay, I need to work on that. I went back and I took it as actual things I need to work on, and I improved, and I saw where I was lacking. I was like, my arms were a little funky like this, But I do think that if you have a creator and they're surrounded by nothing but like, hey, yeah, that's great. I do think that you should have a healthy critique.
Yeah, you don't want any yes men.
No, my wife is not a yes man.
Right.
Like, I've shown her things, and mind you, she's a medical illustrator background. She majored and mastered in that, so she can draw ligaments and bones, and she drew textbook stuff.
Wow.
So yeah, so
I didn't even know that.
So I'm, oh my God, I'm so lucky to have her. So when I go to her and I'm like, hey, check this out, she'll say stuff like, oh, that looks like a rookie move right there. I'm like, all right. And so, but she's specific on it. She's not just talking trash. She's like, hey, this is where, I think it's important to have a surrounding like that, an honest surrounding for yourself that can actually make you better, or make you the best you can be, right? And again, there's a fine line too. It's like, well, you want to be careful not to beat them up into, discouragement. That happened to me in business, where I would come up with these innovative ideas to my business partner at the time, and they would shut them down for some reason or another. And I'm like, okay. And it would totally demotivate me on anything else I did, right? So I'm just like, okay. For a while, I was like, oh, why am I burnt out on this credit endeavor that I love? And it was like, okay, well, I keep getting stifled and stuff like that. So to have the freedom to do and make the mistakes that I need to is nice. And I say that without ego. I'm like, I know that I'm going to mess up along the way. The idea is to not mess up as much as possible, but, do your best.
Yeah, man, I think it's beautiful, the relationship that y'all have. And I haven't even known you that long, but I can tell y'all, and
oh, she's my favorite.
Y'all have that connection and that vibe to where, yeah, she was like, that looks like a rookie move, but she loves you. She wants what's best for the both of you. From. So it's literally just constructive criticism,
right?
And that's what we need more of instead of just hate.
Yeah.
If you got hate, just don't even open up your mouth.
Right. Right.
Anyway, that's a whole. Yeah. We keeping it positive.
Gotta be a non-hater.
Positivity and unity. If you could travel back in time and see yourself while you're managing the bar scene, what would you tell yourself?
Well, the first thing I would do is I would give myself a hug. At any point in time in my life.
Wait. How about a dap and a hug?
A dap and a hug.
Show a little respect first.
All right, I'm gonna give him a dap and a hug. Yo, heads up, and then I'd probably freak the hell out of myself. I would give myself a hug.
Right.
Because it's like, there's so many times when I'm just like, I just needed to give myself a little bit more grace. And the next following thing would be like, it's going to be all right. And then, poof.
Can you talk about Niobe a little bit?
Yeah. So Niobe is my buddy's character, Sebastian Jones from Stranger Comics. He wrote a title called The Untamed, and The Untamed, I want to say it came out in 2009 or 10. I think it came out in 2009. Sorry, Sebastian. If you're going to hear this later, you probably will. Much love to you. But he introduced me to this character because I was wearing a T-shirt of Lady Death at a Emerald City Comic-Con. So he kind of did what I did to you.
I'm about to say it's amazing what just a
T-shirt, man. Yeah. Power of the shirt. Wear what you love. That's it. Wear what you love. So I'm walking around in Emerald City Comic-Con circa 2022, 21. It was post-pandemic. Everybody was happy to see each other, all masked up. And I'm walking in the aisleway, and Sebastian looks at me. He's like, "Hey, man, Lady Death, that's great. Come over here." Brian Pulido. He name-dropped Brian Pulido. I was like, all right, I'm in.
What's that accent you're using over there?
Oh, it's British. He's going to kill me.
I don't know what that was.
It's a horrible British accent.
I have to edit that out.
He does a really good Southern accent. He'll be, yeah. You got to watch his lives. His lives are every Thursday at 6 p.m. Eastern time, or Pacific time, 9 p.m. Eastern time. Sorry for the holler, but he's a good dude. Insta, YouTube.
All that.
Stranger Live. So he came up with Niobe. Niobe is a really cool character because she is, he created an inclusive world that was kind of revolved around like a Tolkien. He was a very big Tolkien fan. He's a big Tolkien fan. He likes Lord of the Rings. I love Lord of the Rings.
Man, don't get me started.
Ooh.
Oh my goodness.
So he had me on that too. So, but he did an inclusive world where everybody's kind of in it, kind of represents everybody. Niobe's this badass elf. She's black, and she's got one blue eye and one brown eye, and she's awesome. She's a cool character because she's not just put on a pedestal. In fact, she's put through a lot of different things. She's resilient. She's just a badass woman. And so that's kind of where I gravitate to is badass women, right? Lady Death, Niobe, my wife.
Nice. So, I like how you did that.
But seriously, it is. Yeah. I would say like the real life is my wife. But I do enjoy a strong like female character because it's just you got to keep it equal obviously, but it's cool. I like it. It's really cool. The other one is the stranger who she meets in The Untamed. So that was the story that got me into Stranger Comics, and then from there I was able to really connect to this other character he does called Dusu, who is a warrior, and it's about finding his strength and his inner animal fire within him. So, and taming that, and kind of, and he's got other stuff that I can relate to too. So, but Niobe specifically means a lot to me because not only is she just an awesome character, it allowed me to meet a really cool guy, which is Seb, and we've been friends ever since. So I've been able to have him as kind of a mentor to kind of help me out in different ways too. So in the business sense, and he's just an all-around great guy. I hope to do some work for him one day. So.
Yo, shout out to Sebastian. I'm on part 2 of it. I dig it. If I didn't, I'd be honest, I wouldn't. But I dig it, man. And I'm definitely looking forward to getting on into the middle towards the end.
Yeah. They just completed their last Kickstarter, Jason Wise. And they did a really good job. I think it did over 80,000, I think.
And
that's in a month. So.
And thank you for gifting me the book.
Heck yeah, man.
I appreciate that.
Oh, for sure.
All right, so we're going to circle back, and you mentioned that your brother, is he in Colorado?
Yeah, so he's in Colorado.
Shout out to your brother.
Yeah.
And what was your transition? Like, why did you go from Colorado and come to South Carolina?
So I did that for purposes so I could affordable living. So Colorado got really expensive, and so my wife and I kept moving from apartment complex to apartment complex, eventually kind of outgrowing a lot of it, and we tried Rock Hill, South Carolina, because her family, her mom and her sister were already out in the Carolinas. So figured, hey, let's try it out a year. We moved in with her mom. I get along great with her mom. I got to say that, because typical brother-in-law, son-in-law things doesn't always work out. It worked out. Thank God. She's also creative. Shout out to my mother-in-law. She lives with us too. We fast forwarded a year later, bought this house that we're in now, and 2019, we've been here ever since, and it's been a blessing. So we lucked out. We got in when it was cheap enough. So now everything's expensive, obviously, but yeah, blessed to be here. And I kept an open mind. I was like, hey, I can still get back to Colorado anytime I want. Thankfully, Charlotte is a main hub back to Denver, so it's still been relatively inexpensive, but yeah, it's been good. It's been good. I get to meet people like you.
Exactly. Like, it's weird. This conversation has been a little weird, because as I'm thinking about like a good segue, you do it. You know what I mean? So, but like I was about to say, not to sound selfish, but I'm glad y'all moved to the Carolinas.
Thanks, man.
And I'm thankful that I met you.
Happy to be here. Yeah, so, happy to know you, man.
Go ahead and look into the camera and tell the audience, the viewers and the listeners can hear you, like how they can find you on Instagram, you know, all that.
Yeah, so so you can find me at Matt Davis 5280, which stands for the amount of feet you're above sea level. So I still kept it Colorado a little bit. So Matt Davis 5280 at Matt Davis 5280, and then artistmattdavis.com is my website. You can find all my art there, and then you should be able to find me on Facebook, Artist Matt Davis. So I've got direct prints there and everything. Complete Credit Plus is my credit restoration company too. I got to be excited about that. So yeah, CompleteCreditPlus.com. But yeah, I'm open to wherever this journey takes me. I love credit and I love my art. So, and I'm very thankful that you had me on today. This has been cool.
I appreciate you for having me over. I sincerely appreciate the hospitality and the love, bro.
Yeah, dude.
And we'll definitely do another one down the road.
All right.
And speaking of, just to go ahead and throw this out there, it's a couple weeks prior to Halloween right now.
Yeah.
I love the decor, bro. Like, you got it going on up in here. I was honestly, like, you were talking earlier, and I looked up and I saw the mad scientist. I about busted out laughing.
There's a mad scientist over there.
Yo, he keeping me in check, you know what I'm saying?
Guy's eye on you.
But that being said, you know, y'all be safe out there. You know what I'm saying? Halloween time. Don't do nothing too crazy. And keep it dapper.
Keep it dapper.
Keep the love. Peace.
Peace.
Before we get out of here, I want to take a moment to show love to Blue Collar Roofing, a trusted partner I work closely with. I spend time around the people and the process, and that's why I'm comfortable sharing this. If you're considering a roof replacement, they're currently offering $500 off when you use promo code DAP. When you visit their website, be sure to navigate to the online instant estimator. And during the questionnaire, enter DAP under the project details section so it's applied correctly. No scare tactics, no pressure, just honest conversations and quality work from people who stand behind what they do. Blue Collar Roofing, built on integrity, backed by work.